Dalam BuzzPOP hari ini, kita bakal membedah dan membincangkan tentang siri K-drama Forecasting Love and Weather episod 11 dan 12. Para panelis kita malam ini terdiri daripada saya dengan Nadzru Iskandar daripada BuzzPOP TV, Tarmizi Ali, Hidden Gem Horroris Obscura. What's up, bro?
Hello.
Malam ni dengan aku nampak background kau cyberpunk, memang cool.
Synthwave.
Dynasty.
Synthwave.
Kau main magic kan sebenarnya ni. Kau main magic kan sebenarnya.
Serta kaki K-drama kita ataupun couch potato goreng balado Jamal Raslan. What's up, bro?
Annyeonghaseyo.
Nampaknya Shazli ada meeting malam ni, jadi dia akan join kita midway to the talk. Tapi kita akan mulakan live stream kita malam ini.
Shazli meeting dengan stesen mana ni? Ada nak hujan ke?
Aku tak tahu. Kita akan mulakan perbincangan kita malam ini dengan reaksi satu ayat. Alright, so reaksi satu ayat aku terhadap episod Forecasting Love and Weather minggu lepas adalah melodrama dia terlebih-lebih sampai Abang Jamil mampus. aku serius lah. Kalau bukan pasal business proposal kan, I would have given up on K-dramas already. I did not watch K-dramas for this shit, man. To me, this is bullshit lah. Personally pada aku lah. So, apakah reaksi satu ayat anda terhadap siri Forecasting Love and Weather minggu lepas? Kita mulakan dengan Tarmizi. Silakan Tarmizi.
Very cringe. I mean like aku dah suspect dah bila dia introduce bapak si Wu tu, and then just ending dia sekejap like satu dua episod lepas tu, and then kita tak dengar, nampak macam okay. So sekali dia call back and macam macam tiba-tiba datang nak claim compensation secara tiba-tiba yang it takes me macam dia level of dia punya asshole-nya tu macam aku tak nak brain macam ada sampai ni, and then sepanjang duduk episod tu duduk ulang-ulang anak saya kena compensate, anak saya kena compensate, lepas tu pergi jumpa pun macam ni cedera ni apa-apa semua, macam seolah-olah like kau nak attention kepada watak tu, mau attention kepada dia punya plot, walhal kita nak tengok the plot macam the romance, how this tragedy will advance the romance. Bagi aku tak tahu macam is this macam plan from the start or macam by certain dia hit satu milestone and then macam dia dah lost idea, then dia fikir this is a good idea to bring it how the plot should progress. But in the end macam nampak macam mati kat situ je, unless macam you nak call back lagi bila macam the final 2 episode. Yes, aku stay nak duit lagi.
Itulah. Aku memang tak tahan langsung. Jamal, was the father si Ibu ni, is he acting in his own other drama? Lepas tu dia macam mengacau plot K-drama ni.
Aku tak terfikir nak I did not think of putting it that way, tapi in my own personal angle lah. Kalau kau pakai angle macam disdain about how the series has progressed, I am inclined to agree with you. Aku rasa dia tengah berlakon K-drama lain, director sama, writer sama. Lepas tu macam dia masuk set, tapi mungkin director dan geng-geng macam ini masuk. Yang lele semua korang method je, korang respond je. Kita ad-lib. Sarcasm aside, I don't know lah. I think the directing is all over the place, at least for the last 4 episodes.
Yep.
Commute.
Adakah ini normal untuk K-drama or is this unique untuk floor?
It is not normal. Kau dah tengok dan korang sedang tengok business proposal. Aku sedang tengok 25-21, another slice of life story yang ini bukan slice of life, ini cincang of life. Dia nak buat slice of life tapi dia guna parang, ataupun dia guna pisau tapi tak bagi slice tapi dia cincang instead. And during that time I was also watching Rookie Cops yang dah habis, Through the Darkness yang dah habis. Aku baru je habis binge The Cursed. So it is not normal. In previous similar series in recent 2 to 3 years lah, aku tak payahlah ambil 10 tahun lepas, cerita-cerita yang sama, Move to Heaven, DP, yang agak slice of life, Hometown Cha-Cha-Cha, Run On. I think Run On is the best side-by-side comparison sebab dua-dua ni dia punya tone is a bit more adult, a bit more mature, with regards to the character treatment. Treatment tapi bukan necessarily writing. As in bila kau write a story for film or for TV series, kau kena ada treatment punya plot atau treatment punya deck. There it will show the character, dia punya silhouette, dia punya baju, dia punya characteristics, sejarah background dia apa semua, and all the possible cast, actor yang boleh dicastkan untuk benda ni, untuk character tu. So treatment dia dekat dengan Run On, sangat dekat. Tapi Run On took that story, even though kalau kita tengok premise, Run On punya cerita lagi unremarkable compared to Flaw. Sebab Flaw is KFA, meteorologist, so benda tu cool. Run On is just a former Korean national sprinter who is second. Lepas tu dia buat sprinting, dia jadi sprinter sebab dia nak lawan bapak dia punya expectation, tapi dia still kena become a success. So dia jadi sprinter, and then towards the end of his career, yang he could end on a high, dia kata, mampus aku malas lah nak layan bapak aku punya PL ni, nak kena jaga ni just because you're a politician. So dia memberontak, tapi dalam pemberontakan dia tu dia kenal writer, dia kenal orang ni, and then semua orang keliling dia pun grow. So in terms of mood and tone, it's very similar to Flaw. Premise je lain, and promise tu agak boring lah, kita semua tak boleh relate, dan kita tak berminat pun hidup di sebalik kehidupan sebalik sebuah orang sprinter. Hidup dia bukan pasal training sangat pun, hidup dia pasal dia punya sponsorship deals, dia punya endorsement deals, and stuff like that. Tapi that story was very very well written. Tak payah compare tu cerita ni, that story was already very well written, dan dia tak ada treatment macam ni, even though that series ada campur tangan studio dan network, because it was dia punya ratings makin lama makin naik. So I do not know what is the problem with Flaw, or rather I do not know what is the flaw with Flaw. Aku pergi dekat Reddit, ramai yang lebih nak mengutuk dan mengecam cerita ni daripada nak backup cerita ni, dan kata sebenarnya writer gaduh dengan director kena layan cakap studio. None of that. Semua orang akan kata, we love the setting, we love the premise, we started loving the lead characters, and then we like following the second lead characters, and now the only people we are following is the sister and the mother. Semua orang lebih kurang macam tu. Kita suka series ni punya premise, kita suka the characters generally, tetapi the last 4 to 5 episodes bencinya. Semua orang cakap macam tu. So nak korek pun aku rasa tak ada orang berminat, macam sebenarnya cerita ni ada orang gaduh ke, studio menyemak kacau writer ke, and apparently that is not the case, because filming wrapped within the first week of March. The reason is, I knew this is because ada orang komen kata Ki-jun punya actor self-test lepas tu COVID positif, tapi at that time dia tak mengganggu scheduling atau dia tak mengganggu broadcast, sebab shoots pun dah habis dan tak ada extra shoots, meaning everybody was pretty much in the same boat lah, walaupun diorang mungkin setuju atau tak. So if this is not normal, please do not think K-dramas, love rom-coms are like this. Cha-cha-cha is a great example that it is not. If you're currently following Business Proposal, definitely it's not. Yes.
Satu lagi benda aku tak suka, the way that macam dia nak go for non-linear storytelling, which macam the earlier episode it works. Tapi kali ni macam kau dah show si buta accident, and then it's a series of flashback and jumping around yang macam aku lost.
Betul.
Real
The
time?
whole of
Is it
episode 11 is a flashback. Gila.
Okay. With regards to flashback, aku rasa ramai orang setuju dengan Tarmizi, termasuk aku. And for me, bila aku kritik atau kecam poin-poin yang macam poin kau ni, aku akan pergi balik dekat momen-momen flashback yang aku rasa asal tiba-tiba flashback atau yang jaring, dan aku tengok the last 3 to 5 minutes of the previous scene punya story beat. Sebab sometimes in writing, when writers try, or directors, because directors also buat benda sama, try to be clever, which is not wrong, especially if you do it well and precise. Dia macam bila kau flashback sebab the immediate scene or the preceding scene tu was talking about something relevant to the flashback. Tak kisahlah flashback tu 5 tahun lepas ke, 10 tahun lepas ke, dan susunan flashback tu tak ikut susunan flashback daripada episod 1. It doesn't matter. The flashback has to be relevant to what the audience is roughly thinking about at the end of the previous scene before the flashback. So biasanya flashback yang efektif, yang berkesan bila kita tengok, lepas tu macam kita lepas scene tu kita macam sialnya karakter ni, kenapa perangai dia macam ni, pop, terus flashback. Oh, sebenarnya patutlah dia ni perangai macam sial. Oh, sebenarnya ada benda ni.
Betul lah, sebab
ataupun
di awal-awal episod
dia tak ada benda tu. So awal-awal dia buat macam tu.
Kali ni macam kau tunjuk Siwu accident, tapi bila kau flashback, apa kena-mengena cerita pasal bumi anak tu dengan benda ni?
Anak tu lah, yes. Aku macam jaring gila babi. Dan kau macam mana, dah lah scene yang dia potong masa dia tunjuk Siwu accident tu, the scene did not end with the director or whatever saying, macam contohnya, alamak Siwu accident, gaduh, commotion. Lepas tu Ha-kyung cakap, okay tak apa, aku akan speak to the hospital, senior forecaster, kau buat ni, kau buat ni, let me handle this, and then I will update you guys. If the scene ended like that, kita tak kisah, because we know that is a soft closing, meaning okay, dia dah draw line dekat situ, kita pause sekejap, okay, Siwu accident ni, kita lompat ke tempat lain. Tapi even if that was the dialogue, it still made no sense. Sebab the reason flashback also works is because dia ikut the mood, the craft of the story. So katakanlah dia bagi kita emotion tengah naik, dia tak boleh mendadak potong benda tu and dengan flashback. Flashback yang dia bagi kena membawa kita punya emotion tu turun perlahan-lahan. So that's why the flashback has to be relevant to the preceding scene. So katakanlah scene sebelum tu mendata, tapi dia tahu dia nak lompat lepas tu, then the flashback is something that slowly brings it up lah, atau bagi kita ceria balik dan sebagainya. So dia tak ada benda tu. Dan macam kau cakap Tarmizi, the first few episodes banyak benda ni, kita macam suka, oh nice. Tapi the moment conflict happens, aku rasa dia punya writers dengan director pun conflict kan.
Itulah tentu lah. Alright, so dengan itu berakhirlah segmen ini, dan kita bakal membincangkan 3 plot yang tidak menarik daripada episod minggu lepas.
Aduh.
Alright, jadi plot pertama adalah tentang the leads, Siwu dan Ha-kyung. Untuk segmen ini aku ada 3 soalan. Soalan pertama adalah untuk Jamal. Apakah pendapat anda tentang Siwu's ultimatum kepada Ha-kyung serta confession oleh Ha-kyung bahawa dia sekadar boleh memberi a moderate kind of love? Adakah ini bakal menjadi punca mereka break up for good nanti? Silakan.
I love you moderately.
Aku rasa
I love you moderately.
Aku rasa ini bukan punca diorang break up. Punca diorang break up pada akulah sebagai penonton adalah ketidakupayaan mereka untuk berkomunikasi dengan baik. Biarpun daripada in the first 5 episodes, 5.5 episod pertama kita bagi kredit banyak dekat Siwu dengan Ha-kyung punya writing, di mana kalau diorang ada problem je, diorang terus cakap. Diorang ada problem je, dia terus cakap. We cannot now say that problem-problem yang depan-depan tu superficial, problem-problem tu biasa-biasa je, problem-problem sekarang ni makin teruk. That's not really the case here lah. Of course kita boleh ambil kira faktor-faktor Ki-jun buat hal, Yoo-jin buat hal, bapak Siwu buat hal dan sebagainya, but the writing did not lead us that way, so we cannot really give them that benefit of the doubt. So aku rasa that is not the punca of the breakup. So the punca of the breakup is their miscommunication. So tentang Siwu punya ultimatum atau confession, tentang Ha-kyung punya Siwu dengan punya confession yang dia boleh bagi moderate love tu, aku rasa it's a bit dia tak boleh bagi moderate love. Ha-kyung boleh bagi moderate love, Siwu tak boleh bagi moderate love. I think it is lazy writing. Reason is because in the first 5 to 6 episodes, kita tak nampak Ha-kyung sebagai seorang yang love moderately. Kita nampak Ha-kyung sebagai seorang yang membezakan dan menjarakkan benda-benda peribadi dan benda-benda perihal kerja. That's it. Dan dalam bab peribadi dia, kalau kita nak kata, oh dia ni pun moderate juga, tak sangat. Kerana a few reasons. Satu, kita tengok Ki-jun handsome. Betul lah, Ki-jun handsome, speaks very well, dresses very well. And we all love Ha-kyung punya wardrobe. I think up to now, a lot of her saving grace is a wardrobe. Itu kita kena puji dia punya art department. So dia tak nampak yang dia tu moderate. Dia nampak dia understated, dia nampak dia subtle, dia tak nampak dia moderate. Okay? And then dia yang beli rumah, dia bawa kereta macam mana. So kita tak nampak dia moderate. Kita nampak dia tak banyak cakap, kita nampak dia tak banyak express. But the biggest reason why aku cakap kita tak nampak dia orang moderate adalah kalau kita tengok flashback, kita tak ada flashback dia dating dengan Ki-jun extended. Meaning masa dia dating 5 tahun lepas, masa dia dating 10 tahun lepas, masa dia dating 2 tahun lepas, masa dia dating ni. Even when she was announced to as the replacement for the director, they did not have like a dinner to commemorate that. You know? If they had a dinner to commemorate, wow, you know what, congratulations, you finally became the director. And that is Ki-jun belanja Ha-kyung, and dia belanja Ha-kyung dekat a really nice restaurant. If we had that scene, then we can see how Ki-jun and Ha-kyung is a bit awkward, di mana Ha-kyung mungkin tak boleh nak meluahkan dia punya excitement because dengan Ki-jun kena control macho dan sebagainya ke, atau Ki-jun tak boleh tunjuk dia punya excitement sebab dia dah berbelah bahagi, sebab dia dah tengah ada affair dengan Yoo-jin. So we do not even get those kind of scenes to flesh out how their relationship is at that point in time, ataupun what was their relationship like previously leading to that point. So aku tak boleh nak kata diorang ni dia ni moderate lah. So I refuse to accept bila dia kata I can only love moderately. If you want to say, oh dia cakap dia love moderately tu sebab dia kena curang, dia dah trauma dengan Ki-jun. Aku boleh terima benda tu kat depan, tapi bila kau flash it out, okay, tell me where dia nak buat something selepas you ajak, dia tak berani. Sebab dia tak berani nak go full in, sebab satu, timing dia immediately after. Dua, macam bounce. Tiga, Siwoo is completely different to Ki-jun. Give me a scene where dia macam, aku biasanya tak macam ni, dengan Ki-jun dulu aku tak macam ni. Tapi mungkin Siwoo lain. Siwoo ni nampak dah berbeza dengan Ki-jun. Tak apalah, aku try ikut lagu Siwoo. We do not get those kind of scenes. Neither did we get scenes yang macam, nak pergi camping, saya tak suka camping. Tapi kalau Siwoo yang bawa aku pergi camping, mesti best. Sebab Siwoo, dia tak ada scene macam tu.
Betul.
So we do not see where dia moderate. So I refuse to accept that as an excuse. Because while it is there, kalau the writers nak pakai, the writers did not use it. So aku rasa macam sayang lah. Because aku rasa ingredients pun dah ada. Ni kalau bukan case dalam kat dapur banyak sangat tangan tukang masak, it is the case where the tukang masak either lost interest or just got uninspired at some point, and just lost their way. I assume it's a writing team, and the director pun tak boleh nak pull the direction back. I feel that is the case. Or this could be something that is written very early. On paper it feels good. Reading masa rehearsal it felt good. Tapi bila dia bawa ke shoot, dia rasa macam okay. Lepas tu bila dalam post, dia tengok macam, shit, feel dia tak kena . So sekarang kita kena main lompat-lompat flashback, which is editing punya sleight of hand, nak menyorok kelemahan tak cukup footage atau kelemahan writing yang kita tak sempat nak ubah sebab kita tak nak reshoot. So that could be another possibility where they did not expect that bila berlakon, footage yang diorang dah ambil tu tak berapa cukup. So I do know things like this do happen very often. Marvel kita boleh petik, tapi my personal reference, walaupun aku tak ada kaitan langsung dengan projek tu, is Terbaik dari Langit. So diorang cakap, when I spoke to a few people that was closely working in the project, diorang cakap, they finished shooting and then when they started editing, they realised the footage tak cukup. So I do not recall if they did reshoot or if they did, how much reshoots they did do. Satu, number two, I spoke to people who were involved in the editing. They kata whatever you see on the screen is whatever you have. So even if we spotted the weaknesses there, we cannot fix it because there is no footage to patch it up. So it might be the case with Floor. where they only realise, alamak line ni tak pergi ya, alamak scene ni tak masuk dengan sini lah, kita kena alih-alih lah, and then they started to tinker in post during editing, and then we get what we get lah.
Yeah. But I think even Ki-jun noticed the fact that there was so much PDA between Siwoo dengan dengan Ha-kyung. So that's not a moderate kind of love, is it? Aku macam what the fuck?
I agree with you. Aku rasa line tu diselit. Line tu line campak. Meaning, okay, kita Ki-jun punya karakter kena perasan yang Siwoo dah berbeza masa dia dating, Ha-kyung dah berbeza masa dia dating Siwoo dengan masa dia dating Ki-jun. So they throw the line in there. So for us, kalau kita tengok episod tu, kita tak nampak benda tu canggung sebab that statement came soon after dia stop dan dia nampak dia orang cium dekat kedai sushi. Right? Tapi for us, bila kita reflect balik, itu pun dia orang pergi sorok-sorok dekat kedai yang orang lain tak lepak. So office, dia tak pergi kat tempat yang akan terserempak dengan orang-orang yang dia kenal. So in a manner of speaking, kalau kau pergi dating, kau nak sorok, kau tengah couple dengan orang, kau baru tengah courting, kau buat benda sama kot. You go to places that you don't normally visit.
Yeah.
So and then kalau you nak argue, tapi Ha-kyung bawa Siwoo makan kat kedai sushi yang dia makan dengan Ki-jun because Ha-kyung tak pergi jalan-jalan. So that is the only place that she knows. So she brings him there. Tapi ini adalah kita yang fikir sendiri. Bukan macam contoh, kita ambil shot dia orang masuk kedai sushi tu for the first time. Oh, you pun suka sushi ya? Siwoo cakap. And then Ha-kyung kata, I used to date here with Ki-jun. I don't really go out much with other people. Are you okay? If you're not okay, we can go to a restaurant that you like. And then Siwoo dengan romantic yang cakap, I okay je, I suka sushi. And kalau you ada kedai yang you suka, you know what? As long as you're comfortable, kita boleh makan kat sini. Boom! Setup tu dah settle. So we do not even get that scene. So
Pasal loving moderately, bagi aku is a totally ridiculous concept. Seolah-olah macam kau cakap ni kalau Melayu kita panggil dia teman tapi mesra lah, tapi dia orang dah macam very advanced dah. So far yes, aku setuju dengan Jamal pasal communication ni. So to go deeper and that, communicationnya setakat ni diportraykan Siwoo ni actually the perfect boyfriend for Ha-kyung.
betul?
Dan dia buat benda semua macam seperti yang it is expected untuk Ha-kyung berada dalam situasi ni. So problem semuanya ni, the way I see it, berpunca daripada Ha-kyung semata-mata. And berpunca daripada writing Ha-kyung ni sendiri. Sebab you start the danger of you start dengan episod 2, kau dah sleep together, kau dah sampai that tu, and then kau nak rebuild balik sampai ni, and then kau kata macam I love you moderate pula.
Pelik kan? Macam what the fuck?
Jadi dia sebenarnya moderately ni, yes, dia datang tiba-tiba cakap, tiba-tiba kata I can only love you moderate, time mabuk, of course. Satu lagi macam bagi aku macam what Siwoo demand Ha-kyung be honest semua tu macam is justifiable because dia dah macam setuju macam nak rahsiakan this relationship. Dia macam tak nampak pun dia menekankan dekat Ha-kyung, I nak ni apa-apa sangat. So far dia ikut je Ha-kyung tu nak apa-apa semua. Even mak Ha-kyung pun perasan Siwoo ni memang ada hati semua, and then macam rasa dia trust dia sikit. So macam actually daripada mata kita sepatutnya there's no reason macam why you two cannot get together. Tiba-tiba macam kau kata kau ada issue, I can only love you moderately because, and
at the same time dalam episod ni all conversation Ha-kyung dengan Ki-jun ialah yelah betul lah, I loved you moderately sebab tu kita break up. So after kau realise that shit, kau still cakap dengan mamak baru ni I can only love you moderately. What the fuck, kau nak benda ni fail ke apa? I don't get it, man. I don't get it.
Lepas tu macam the communication breakdown heavily bila macam tiba-tiba dia suggest Siwoo pergi Jeju Island ni out of the blue. And then mamak Siwoo ni macam jadi blur. Kenapa? Why? Lepas tu cakap macam we need some time apart for you to think whether we want to teruskan relationship or not. At that time we was assuming that dia bothered because of si Wu ni tak nak kahwin. Tapi lepas tu bila episod yang latest ni, it was not the case. Dia mengaku macam tak kisah apa si Wu tak nak kahwin sekarang apa semua, but I takut untuk commit pada relationship.
Macam pelik tu. Aku tak boleh tahan tu.
I mean, at some point bila aku reflect balik while listening to Mizi, aku teringat how I was during my second previous relationship, which was the longest one I've had, many years. I'm not saying that karakter diorang is unrealistic. I think banyak kita punya kecaman kat sini atau kita punya ketidakpuashatian jatuh ke dekat writing dan dekat basically it's a creative thing. It's not a realism, it's not a character thing. So semua ni datang balik kepada writing dan juga benda kreatif. Sebab kita tak boleh ikut pemikiran ataupun garis pemikiran atau garis perasaan kedua-dua watak ni and not just that, tapi Ki-jun dengan Yoo-jin sekali. Sebab kalau kita ikut macam mula-mula kau tengah marah sebab benda sebab A, lepas tu kau tengah nak reda sebab dah kena pujuk, lepas tu kau suka, lepas tu B pula jadi, and then tiba-tiba lepas tu C, lepas tu D, lepas tu ada F datang mencelah, lepas tu H, lepas tu patah balik kepada C nak pujuk, tapi dia jadi macam tu. So I've been in the relationship that I was referring to is not exactly like this, in all fairness to me and to my former partner, tapi it does feel the same way, in the sense that macam kau tak cakap benda yang kau harapkan kau cakap dan aku tak cakap benda yang kau harapkan aku cakap, and we are not talking about the thing that we want to talk, and when we are slowly trying to talk, orang tu tak cukup sabar, dia dah macam mencelah sekejap, and then kita nak kena jawab benda yang dia celah tu, tapi sebab kita jawab benda yang dia celah tu, benda yang kita asal-asalnya nak petik tadi dah tak keluar, dan bila keluar dia dah jadi lain. Sebab apa? Kita dah jawab benda yang celah tu dulu. So it is like that. So if they want to create that kind of feeling, they did, but not for the characters, but for the viewers, which is sad. Faham tak? So we get it if this is what you want to convey, tapi at the end of the day, this is fiction, this is a story. So kau kena jaga benda-benda tu. Then benda tu jadi cantik lah. But because these two characters were not character driven, I now feel that this story is very plot driven. Like certain episodes, dia kena ada benda berlaku, and katakanlah kau ada 5 minit between benda-benda yang dah jadi sebelum-sebelum ni to lead up to benda yang kena berlaku pada point ni. 5 minit tu je lah kau ada. So kau selit je lah scene-scene yang boleh tangkap muat, atau selit dialog-dialog yang tangkap muat. So 25-21 is character driven. Business Proposal, as much as it is plot driven, sebab dia 12 episod, so kau kena buat plot driven, dia punya plot development tu is character driven. Because you get to the next plot point because the character is doing something that is within the character punya sifat, which leads to the inciting incident, which leads to the other character reacting, which leads to the plot ataupun the scene. So benda tu dia tak buat kat sini. So aku rasa mungkin macam mana lah, aku tak tahu lah, ini aku just thinking too much lah kot. Bila kita tengok episod cerita ni, our first 6 episodes lah, bagi muka kita seronok dengan how poetic it is, how philosophical it is, semua tu kan. So I feel that the writers are focusing on that too much. So dia top down punya cerita, tapi kalau kau character driven, kau bottom up. So basically in the writing process, bila kau dah set the top macam mana, kau lepaskan top tu, kau lepaskan. Because semua tu kau dah establish. Jadi apa-apa yang kau brainstorm daripada bottom tu, dia akan connect to the top balik eventually. Tetapi bila kau macam risau sangat dan kau nak jaga juga naratif tu, kita kena ada the connection dengan the metaphor dengan cuaca, kita kena ada monolog ni. So aku rasa mungkin dia jaga benda tu banyak sangat. Maybe. Aku
about that moderate loving ni, for me it would make sense kalau diorang never slept together.
True.
Betul, agree.
Betul. Not saying that we tak suka diorang sleep awal-awal, because everyone, aku rasa kita semua macam kalau kau dah ada relationship macam ni, where are you going? Where are you taking us? I think we were all excited with that.
Tapi sepatutnya overdrive lah.
They brought us into some jalan dalam yang I don't enjoy, man. I don't enjoy. Itu membawa kepada persoalan kedua untuk Tarmizi. Apakah pendapat anda tentang ibu Ha-kyung yang sudah mula mensyaki bahawa Siwoo berminat dengan Ha-kyung? Adakah ibunya akan dapat menerima darah muda Siwoo nanti? Silakan Tarmizi.
Ayat kau.
I mean, we were surprised kan, apa tiba-tiba ibu dia pergi jumpa Siwoo tu kan.
Ajak makan pizza apa tu. Random gila.
Okay Cok, sebelum aku jawab busy, aku pantang cerita macam ni tau. Siwoo, girlfriend dia kat office, sikit-sikit nak message. Engkau duduk tumpang office girlfriend kau, mak girlfriend kau yang terkejut kan, nampak kau dengan bos kau tumpang tinggal kat situ, ajak engkau pergi dinner. Kau cakap ya, malam yang sama diorang nak buat dinner untuk kau, send off dinner, kau tak check phone, kau tak reply WhatsApp, kau tak cakap apa-apa. Not to your girlfriend to your other team members. Itu aku tak boleh terima. Itu silap.
Agak pelik macam tu. Siwoo choose
these two episodes, semua karakter bukan macam karakter yang biasa. They like weird writing, man. Weird writing. Silakan.
Tiba-tiba macam apa, kau tak pernah, kau jumpa sekali je makcik tu and then kau setuju nak pergi dinner dia, mengorbankan kau punya dinner. Which is macam
yang
tapi
for
itulah,
all I know, aku merajuk, aku tak nak pergi sebab aku gaduh dengan girlfriend aku. Ya, sure. Point dia bukan idea girlfriend kau, idea team kau.
But we were surprised dia makan pizza dengan apa, bakar mak mertua. But banyakkan aku bukannya nak kata tak suka lakonan pelakon makcik tua apa, Mak Ha-kyung tu, tapi aku tak suka watak yang mak overbearing sangat nak suruh anak kahwin apa-apa semua. So personally aku tak suka watak macam, aku tak suka in real life orang macam tu lah. Tapi kalau dalam cerita it was a purpose, okay lah. So selama ni memang aku tak suka sangat lah dia duduk push apa-apa ni. But that dinner she talks the most sense. So dia nak cerita pasal apa the ups and down dalam marriage apa semua. I mean, aku ingat macam dia apa nak tolong membukakan hati Siwoo tu nak tengok marriage in a different perspective. So dia kata macam apa, walaupun macam marriage fail, husband suicide apa-apa semua, if you turn back time, will you do it again? Mak dia cakap yes, because apa ada Ha-kyung dengan kakak dia. So
itu
I love this
line yang terbaik.
Yes, I like that. But aku disappointed it doesn't lead to Siwoo macam opening up to marriage.
Aku tak expect Siwoo open up to marriage, but I expect Siwoo to open up to talk to Ha-kyung about why Ha-kyung nak kahwin dan kenapa dia tak nak kahwin dekat Ha-kyung. I don't care if he ends up to be somebody yang tak nak kahwin, tapi lepas dia sembang dengan mak Ha-kyung tu, at least dia dah berani nak sembang pasal perkahwinan dengan Ha-kyung. That was what I was expecting. Scene dia orang sembang pasal Ha-kyung tanya, asal you tak nak kahwin I tak nak kahwin dengan siapa-siapa, tapi kalau you I kahwin.
Kahwin tak nak kahwin tu bukan isu besar dia.
Itulah betul. Kahwin tak nak kahwin tu bukan isu besar dia. You're right. I agree.
Isu besar dia adalah moderate love. You hanya boleh kasih
betul.
You panggil Aikido dekat office. Aku tak puas hati yang gaduh tu. Tiba-tiba macam saya selalu profesional Saya selalu profesional kat office. Tapi tiba-tiba you panggil Aikido, I marah. Aku macam, siapa yang tulis ni babi? This is the worst fight ever.
I mean, is it a normal Korean language panggil orang adik,
It's
panggil adik lah kan?
It's an American thing pada aku. Kido
It's an
tu
American
macam
thing.
orang muda.
Itu spike je. Itu for me that bit was just spike, but the point stands lah. Benda tu macam
Macam tu benda gaduh.
Aku rasa at some point bila kita duk petik-petik benda ni, aku perasan yang the writers can be a bit tone deaf, especially when they are going down the rabbit hole of a particular plot point atau story beat. Sebab dialog dia tone deaf. Dialog dia macam, okay, I get that you want this to happen, but this is not how the characters should say it. The characters can say it better. Now benda ni nampak canggung gila sebab benda tu tak logik karakter tu cakap macam tu.
Yeah.
Walaupun kau nak benda tu berlaku, just say it a different way lah. It doesn't seem consistent with the character.
And diorang bergaduh berkali-kali gaduh dekat
Ha.
tempat buat kopi, and then gaduh lepas keluar daripada tempat director. Aku macam
Dah lah gaduh benda yang macam kau gaduh pasal apa ni? Aku tak faham. Okay lah kau nak kena gaduh juga. Gaduh lah. Tapi macam takkan ini yang kau nak petik. Aku macam
and then dia bangun pagi esok, dia dah pergi Jeju. This is all happening as a flashback to something we saw in the first 5 seconds. Aku
Itulah
macam,
asal.
it's the whole fucking episode of flashback. Babi bodoh je. Siapa yang tulis ni sial?
I macam kalau orang yang apologies, dia orang yang more forgiving, dia orang kata something must have happened in the writing team or the directing team. I don't know, but I think the more damning remark would be, I'm not really bothered to find out now anymore.
Yes, seri tu
It
dah
is quite
kurang.
strange. Kita lose interest dengan sangat cepat 2 minggu. Kita
What
lose
was
interest 4 episode 2
what was
minggu.
the main reason editing kau brought forward the accident tu at
To
the
be the first
at
5
beginning?
seconds
Ha.
of the whole weekend. Of the whole fucking weekend. It's the first 5 seconds.
And then you didn't really, the payoff is that kita tunggu 5 seconds tu and then tak ada apa-apa payoff sangat. Okay, dia accident, dia terbakar, benda tu meletup. Okay. So,
Sebab macam kita
terus-
tertipu accident tu berlaku kat Seoul.
Yes.
Now that's
then
another one, yes.
Sedar daripada korang marathon tau. Aku tengok hari Sabtu aku terbakar babi. Pasal aku kena tunggu.
sama aku dengan kau sama sial. Aku dengan kau sama sial. Aku mana tak tengok on time. Aku tengok on time sial. This is very rare tau. Aku jarang skip. Aku jarang liat gila ya Rabbi. Aku tengok first 5 minutes, aku tengok nampak bapak CEO so aduh benda ni rimas. Terus tak nak tengok. Aku tengok 25-21. Aku tengok. And 25-21 in all, okay, aku baru teringat 25-21 episod 5 aku ada benda rasa yang sama. But not because benda tu tak best, but because I know ni adalah satu episod yang memang aku kena duduk fokus. Not because macam aku rasa tak best, aku boring tak. It's just ni aku tengah penat malah nak fikir. Aku tengok kemudian.
Faham.
So I think they lost it. Why? I do not know.
Unfortunately, we have 4 more episodes to redah ataupun 2 more weeks to go.
I think in some ways aku rasa fortunately kita ada 4. Aku nak suggest even we cover the final 4 in one bedah.
I think we should do that. We should get a break.
So we can take a break next week.
Yeah.
We take a break next week.
Kita fokus business proposal.
Betul.
Or what we can do, kita transition. So next Monday business proposal kita business proposal kita dah updated kan, so tak boleh buat apa.
Tak apa. Kita bincang lepas
bincang.
live stream nanti. But anyway, soalan ketiga untuk segmen ini adalah untuk kedua-dua panelis pasal Syaz tak masuk lagi. Apakah pendapat anda tentang tingkah laku Bapak Siwu yang sial macam hanat dalam episod minggu lepas? Kita mulakan dengan Tarmizi. Silakan Tarmizi.
Macam mana macam nak bedah ni tanpa mencarut?
Aku pun
Mencarut je bro. Ini bukan RTM atau multimedia. Silakan.
Aduh, dia muncul like the ending of episode 11 kan. Kata I will kill you all. Okay. Kalau you nak be very analytical sikit, masa bila dia tahu apa Siwu ni accident?
kan. Itu satu.
Lepas tu dia datang and apa aku nak cakap ni? Macam mana dia tahu Siwu ter-accident? Second would be dia macam mana dia tahu accident, how bad is it, and then terfikir rancangan untuk apa get compensation and everything apa semua, and then bila pergi jumpa tu mengamuk kat semua orang apa semua, almost nak cakap kau ada affair dengan anak aku apa semua ni, anak aku mana and then cakap pasal I'm his guardian, macam Siwu ni underage pula. Lepas tu pergi sampai jumpa Director General apa semua. yang lagi jaringnya macam okay, yang kenal siapa dia kat situ is Ha-kyung saja. Tapi Ha-kyung just macam relax je apa semua, biarkan Ki-jun handle bapaknya tu.
Random tu.
Itu satu.
Random.
Lagi satu yang aku rasa macam adalah come on lah, this is a government office yang penting, high risk. Boleh dia lepas Pak Gad yang masa 3 episod lepas dia datang jumpa cari anak dia tapi jumpa Ha-kyung instead. Pak Gad nak kasih dia lepas.
Ya, dia
Ini
dekat
kau boleh
meeting room,
lepas.
dekat depan entrance.
Dia boleh dekat control center. Kalau
Yes.
dia dekat pintu control center, aku bagi muka lagi.
Yes.
Kalau dia dekat kat pintu control center tu, aku bagi muka lagi. Kat dalam control center.
Pak Gad tu sepatutnya kena pecat.
Tak, okay, you know what? Katakanlah Pak Gad tu macam, dia bising. Lepas tu kita kena faham, dia ada span of control dengan hierarki. Ada bapa staff yang accident datang bising-bising lah. Okay lah. Kalau kau tak boleh handle, kau bagi dia bawa masuk lobby, kita settle kat lobby. Dan kat lobby, the security punya supervisor datang settlekan lah. Faham tak?
Ya, betul.
So then dia akan sangkut dekat lobby lah. Dan dia takkan tahu tingkat berapa the control center is. Because control center tu kau nak masuk, kau kena ada tag, kau apa.
Ya.
So,
It's not on the ground
dia
floor. They always come down on the lift, lepas tu baru walk out.
Yes, correct. Let's just say it's at the ground floor. It's not gonna be kau masuk lobby. Ni control center, abang nampak tak lift tu? Belakang tu je pintu masuk control center. Tak, dia control center kat belakang sebab dia kena space yang paling besar. Dia kena dekat dengan server room sebab dia punya display dengan dia punya IT equipment dia high tech. So,
Dia bukan ground floor sebab dia orang naik lift kan?
aku faham. My point is that even if it is ground floor, it won't be accessible. But the way the father dah duduk kat dalam bilik tu macam, aku datang cari je control center ni. Faham
Lepas
tak?
tu menjerit-jerit, melalak-lalak.
Jerit-jerit.
Aku macam, ini dah tak logik tu. Ini dah macam, it's plot driven, the point that it's not logic. Because we needed A to happen so that B can happen and then C can happen.
Yes.
It's like lazy.
Which is why aku tak pernah suka dan it'll be very hard for me to like how to save the cat punya method. Like, if you want to talk about writing in general, plotting in general, kau boleh pakai benda tu. But the moment you get down to the nitty-gritty of writing the dialogue line for line, benda tu kau kena buang lah. Because how to save the cat is just kat depan. It's just masa kau tengah rangka, okay, kita ada 10 episod. Okay, kita ada filem ni 2.5 jam. Atas tu je kau pakai. The moment you are starting to write scene for scene, semua benda ni akan campak. Kalau kau tak pakai how to save the cat pun, semua benda ni kau akan campak. Because the moment you start writing, kau akan make changes that the writing team has debated on, which means that somebody akan tanya, ni kan kacau konti, so kat depan kita kena tukar. Okay, kita tukar. So bila kau tukar tu, kau dah tak peduli yang how to save the cat, benda kau dah tak peduli dah. Sebab benda tu benda tu dah tersusun, scene tu dah tersusun. Kau kena tweak macam tu. So I think this is just sangat disappointing lah. Kau rasa macam you are not on a journey. Kau rasa macam setiap episod adalah satu isu buku yang self-contained story, cuma dia bawa cerita daripada previous issue, tapi dia tak bersambung secara natural. Macam kalau korang tengok business proposal, you know, kalau episod ni benda ni jadi dan benda ni jadi, kau tahu episod depan dia akan resolve untuk kau benda tu, tapi dalam dia tengah resolve tu akan ada benda lain jadi, akan lead to the next episode pula. Dan benda yang dia dah resolve 2 episod lepas akan ada significance 3 episod akan datang. So we know that, we see that.
Ada continuity, betul.
It's like
Tarmizi,
macam kau boleh guntingkan part ayah Siwu ni. You would still get the scene where Siwu cakap kat Ha-kyung kata cannot do this anymore.
Yo,
Betul.
that's a good line. That's a good way of saying it. Yeah. Setuju.
Just to
You
get to that
can do without it.
rain scene in Jeju. Betul lah. Butuh sih. Okay guys. So dengan itu, dah 40 minit cerita pasal ayah Siwu dia.
Kalau marah kita marah betul ni jangan main-main Kau ingat senang ke nak duduk, nak layan? Kita nak layan sebab kita happy. Kita bedah sebab kita happy, bukan kita bedah sebab aku nak menegakkan hak-hak penulis dan nilai kreativiti. Tak ada benda tu lah. Kita layan sebab kita suka je.
Itu senada kau.
Ya. Alright guys, so dengan itu kita akan ke segmen menarik kita yang kedua. Alright, jadi segmen kedua kita adalah tentang melodrama antara the second leads, iaitu Ki-jun dan Yoo-jin. Dalam segmen ini kita ada 3 soalan juga. Soalan pertama adalah untuk Jamal. Apakah pendapat anda tentang hubungan Ki-jun dan Ha-kyung yang semakin intim in the past 4 episodes ya? Daripada stalker tiba-tiba jadi shoulder to cry on pula and support. Adakah wajar sekiranya mereka bercinta kembali in the final 4 episodes of this series? Like they're gonna pull a startup? Apa pendapat kau? Silakan Jamal.
I hope they don't. I don't think they will. But if they fucking do, aku jarang. Aku leka dekat Reddit. I will fucking write an article. I don't think so lah. I think it's natural, and this is where aku cakap I brought up the point plot driven dengan character driven. Now, bila kita sembang, katakanlah kita duduk kat meja, kita sembang 4 jam. Okay, kita nak buat series ni nama dia Forecasting Live Weather, bla 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 bla. And then we come to the point. Okay, so nanti Ki-jun dengan Ha-kyung ni macam mana? And then kita buat, okay, Ha-kyung dah curang, lepas tu kantoi kat rumah sendiri, lepas tu dia kahwin, lepas tu dia ada problem, and then ex-fiancé dia pula pun ada problem, and then they turn to each other. On paper, benda tu okay, benda tu cool, benda tu menarik sebab it does happen in real life. It does happen in real life, especially for couples yang ada anak. Dan couple-couple ni dua orang well adjusted, cuma masing-masing benci masing-masing. So they will eventually get together and sembang just for their kids. Benda tu ada. Okay? Settle. So I think on paper benda tu cool. Tapi bila kau plot driven dan kau tak jaga character driven, kau akan, okay, alamak ni dah episod 11 lah. So kena ada scene yang Ki-jun sembang dengan Ha-kyung lah. Okay, macam mana kita nak tulis benda ni? So that is where the problem is, I feel. Sebab kita tak ada isu Ki-jun dengan Ha-kyung nak sembang. Kau dah couple 10 tahun, memang confirm lah kau nak sembang. Kau benci macam mana pun, kalau benda tu terdesak, kau akan terdetik. Should I talk to Ki-jun or should I talk to Ha-kyung? Kau akan terdetik. Whether you do or not, that depends on the writing. So in this case, the writing did not convince us that when both of them are talking to each other, they are talking to each other because of that. Walaupun insiden-insiden dah berlaku. Oh, kau tengah ada rough patch dengan bini kau ke? Oh, kau tengah couple dengan Siwu, aku tak suka dia, tapi masa kita dua-dua berdebat nak come up with the answer tu, aku jadi respect kat dia pula. Benda tu kita tak feel. Jadi bila diorang dua jumpa masing-masing, walaupun dia buat benda tu macam aku selesaikan kau kat office, kita tak boleh nak percaya benda tu. Bukan sebab scene tu tak believable. Bukan sebab prospect tak believable. Because how they executed that scene and how they wrote it tak believable. So because of that, kita akan rasa macam ni lah. Kau tak nak tengok muka dia ke? Tapi sekarang kau dah boleh sembang dengan dia pula. Kita rasa macam tu pula. Padahal, if they did it well, kita akan rasa macam, wah, Ha-kyung ni bagus Dia telan ego dia tanya Ki-jun sebab dia sedar yang Ki-jun je couple dengan dia 10 tahun. So, kita tak ada scene yang Ha-kyung, basically what we needed to see among many things is Ha-kyung cakap dekat Siwu, you know what? I just realised that you are my second ever relationship. The only relationship I've ever known is with Ki-jun. So everything I know about myself in a relationship, everything I know about relationships, everything I know about my partners in relationships is just Ki-jun. I do not know how to see it any other way. Which is also why I was attracted to you. But I am traumatized and I need to figure things out, and if you don't talk to me or if you do not like me in this process, then this is going to be really difficult, not just for me, but for us. Kalau kita ada ayat macam tu, and then Siwu, sama ada dia gentleman atau tidak, whatever his response is, and then lepas tu, dia gaduh lagi dengan Siwu, lepas tu dia pergi balik kat Ki-jun. Ki-jun, you know what? Aku gaduh dengan Siwu lagi. Tapi masa tu Siwu cakap something. And then aku sedar yang aku dengan kau, aku pernah couple dengan kau je, aku tak pernah couple dengan orang lain. Aku ni betul-betul macam tu ke? Dan kita akan percaya tau benda tu macam sebab kau dah ada kesedaran tu. So we did not even have that scene. Scene yang kita dapat diorang, jadilah benda yang kita dapat, kita perlukan kita dapat, tapi ada juga banyak benda yang kita perlukan kita tak dapat. So I'm not saying that they shouldn't have done whatever dating scenes Siwu dengan Ha-kyung did. I'm just saying that I guess now it's easier to say that we needed more lah, because whatever we got is not enough to flesh out the characters.
So
and I feel that bila orang bergaduh tu ada benda tu.
All those scenes yang kita rasa kita perlukan for us to be invested tu, adakah macam, is it worth it macam you nak subplot yang lain-lain, director apa-apa semua tu?
Yeah, that's a good question. That's a good question, Mizi. I think ini sama dengan apa nama? Wheel of Time. Benda yang kita nak kau bagi, tapi benda yang kita perlukan kau tak bagi habis. Jadi kita kena tanya kau balik. Benda yang kita nak tu tapi kita tak perlukan sangat. Kenapa kau boleh buat benda tu? Tapi kau tak boleh buat benda-benda lain yang kita perlukan yang kau tertinggal. Sebab kalau kau tak bagi kita apa yang kita nak, tapi benda-benda yang kita perlukan semua kau bagi, kita tak kisah sangat benda-benda yang kita nak tapi tak dapat ni.
Betul.
So aku rasa that's a legitimate question, Busy. I don't have the answer. Aku agak kesal lah sebab macam man, because at one point I was really excited at how much I hated Ki-jun dengan Yoo-jin, because it can be very realistic that they are just dense people like them. And then at some point kita rasa macam okay lah, nampaklah Yoo-jin ni the only one with the only one with a bit of patience in the relationship. Ki-jun ni bangang. And then alih-alih macam okay, so kita nak pergi mana sekarang pula? So that's a good point lah. Aku tak tahu. I think this is a lot of creative direction lah. Mungkin director tak nampak benda ni, and then diorang tak boleh nak buat apa-apa. Tapi focus group suka ataupun studio suka. I don't know.
Siapa yang suka sial? Benda ni sucks.
Itulah banyak orang marah. Banyak orang marah. Dan orang sedih tak ada. Semua orang marah. Kalau kau pergi kat Reddit, kalau ada orang kata I like this story, downvote. Serius. Banyak gila. Dan banyak yang macam I like the fact that they try to do a slice of life, but itu satu paragraf, dia punya but tu 8 paragraf lagi. So dia macam banyak gila pasal tu. So daripada awal-awal dia macam ada 400, 500, 600 comments. Sekarang macam 200, 300. Tapi dalam 200, 300 tu at least two-thirds semua maki lah. Marah.
I think slice of life dengan plot driven is not a good combo.
Betul.
I don't know lah. For me I feel that you can always write it out. So I just feel that sometimes if you don't spend enough time in writing it out and listening to people how they feel and all that is where it is. Aku faham lah kalau production tak cukup masa, tak boleh buat apa lah. But I always feel like you can write it out.
Yeah. And yang pelik
because especially dalam editing room tu, kau boleh nampak benda tu tak jalan.
Yes. The seri from like say the first 4 atau the first 5 episodes dah hilang. Sekarang like I don't know what the fuck I'm watching anymore, man. I don't know what the fuck.
Do you still care about the weather?
I don't, man.
Lepas tu satu lagi kan, dia orang duduk cakap pasal typhoon. Aku imagine that typhoon is a big thing lah. Tapi macam dia orang macam benda tu normal. Aku tunggu ni typhoon akan ada apa ribut ke, nanti siwu akan terperangkap kat ribut ke apa.
Tak, yang kelakarnya 4 episod lepas, ini adalah hari terpanas dalam Korea. Babi panas babi. Lepas tu sekarang, sial lah, typhoon hujan. Macam dia macam internally inconsistent. Mula-mula kau cakap panas sangat, babi panas. Lepas tu sekarang, babi banyak sangat, hujan lah sampai typhoon.
Tak. Ada satu tu yang aku rasa macam gila orang take serious pasal weather ni. Kau predict tak hujan tapi hujan hari ni.
Itulah ada orang call kan. Ada orang kat nelayan tu call.
Yeah, it's a mockery now man. It's a mockery.
Aku rasa untuk aku the biggest indictment is the fact that tadi lepas aku habis tengok episod 12 about half an hour before kita punya bedah kan, aku tengok spoiler. Padahal sebelum ni no spoiler. Macam ada apa spoiler? Okay,
sebab kau nak prepare untuk apa?
Sebab aku dah prepare, yes. Sebab aku dah prepare.
Alright, so soalan seterusnya untuk Tarmizi ya. Apakah pendapat anda tentang Yoo-jin yang membawa diri ke rumah keluarganya di Jeju Island, di mana Siwoo juga ditugaskan? Barely an inconvenience. Adakah ini lazy writing sekadar untuk move the plot along? Macam what the fuck weh. Lepas tu ada pula anak saudara dia ke adik dia macam saya nak ikut. Lepas tu dia orang literally ikut in another car. Tengok mamat tu buat balloon. Like,
do not get me started on that shit. Tak boleh.
This was so ham-fisted writing.
Tak boleh. Bahaya.
And then budak tu tengok belon tu lama. Budak tu tengok belon. Lepas tu tengok muka budak tu. Lepas tu tengok belot. Aku macam, aku tengah tengok sinetron ke ni sial. Aku tengah tengok sinetron ke.
Selamat budak tu tengok dalam kereta. Kalau budak tu, aduh, hai.
Tarmizi silakan. This was the worst part out of the two episodes.
Kau cakap apa barely inconvenience tu, aku tengok Ryan screen rant.
Yes, definitely. Barely an inconvenience.
Super easy. Macam apa bila mamak producer kata, tapi macam mana kita nak buat Yoo-jin bersama dekat island dengan Ji-ju tu. Kita buatlah tu couple dia.
Lepas tu dia ada adik annoying nak ikut pergi kerja. Aku macam what the fuck.
Okay. Apa producer cakap ke Ryan, habis tu macam mana kita nak supaya Yoo-jin tu berada di tempat accident Siwu. Super easy, very convenient. Kita buat dia ada adik yang suka tengok kerja-kerja kaji cuaca ni.
Lepas tu kata, mana logik budak tu 8 tahun takkan dia nak minat KMA. Alah, anak senior forecaster tu dah 14 tahun pun dah minat nak jadi saintis. Boleh je, kat Korea ada banyak saintis yang geliga-geliga pandai-pandai daripada kecil sebab mak hantar pergi arithmetic class masa dia 3 tahun.
Memang kelaut.
Aku tak tahu lah kan. Aku rasa macam yes, aku rasa benda tu pelik. Like I do not know, man. This is the thing. Budak tu tak payah cakap benda tu, they can still selisih when it happened. They were walking together as a family, catching up. Mak dia tanya, asal lah kau tak reply SMS husband kau? Alah, tak nak lah, whatever. Dah nak hujan, tak apa, kita balik cepat. Boom! Apa tu? Ada jeep. And then si Wu punya colleague tu, tolong. And then dia pergi tolong. Mak, apa tu? Tak tahu, ini diorang selalu buat kalau sebelum taufan memang diorang buat tiap-tiap tahun. Mari kita tengok apa benda. Itu si Wu. Tada! Dan dengan budak tu macam, saya nak pergi ikut. Lepas tu si Wu kata, tak apalah, kita boleh bagi diorang ikut. What value does it add to si Wu's character? Kau nak tunjuk apa? Yang si Wu ni, dia layan budak-budak.
Tu kan? Sini bawa van tu macam, barely an inconvenience.
Aku rasa Ryan tu part of the writing team lah.
Aku tak tahu.
Ataupun Ryan tu ada versi Korea dia.
Ada. Aku rasa ada.
Barangkali ada.
Mizi,
I don't know, man. Aku macam
plot ni.
Serius, aku rasa bila aku tengok situ aku macam, and you know what? Ni yang paling best. Mak dia lepas je anak dia macam tu.
Yep.
There was no fight. Janganlah. There was no.
Punca the hydrogen belum meletup tu, dia ada tunjuk tak?
Tak.
Dia foreshadow je. Dia tengok the pressure for the air tu meningkat. Itu je. That's enough. Aku okay je benda tu tak ada issue. It's just the fact that bila benda lain leading up to it, kita tak boleh terima, kita akan nitpick. Ni kita tengah nitpick kan ni. Tapi aku rasa nitpick ni perlu.
Yes, because it was the stupidest reason for
It was the
Yoo-jin
stupidest
to be
reason.
Tak, I mean kita
Like she
ada,
can be that. It is as simple as dia bawa adik dia jalan-jalan, mak dia terseliuh ke jatuh ke, adik dia jatuh ke, pergi ke hospital, si Wu kat hospital. It's okay. I was expecting diorang selisih kat dalam plane masa tengah nak turun. Masa tengah nak disembark.
And Ki-jun tak tahu Jeju tu kampung Yoo-jin.
Tak. Okay, itu aku boleh bagi muka sebab Nick commute ni. Okay. Itu aku boleh bagi muka sebab he was not expecting to see Yoo-jin there. So it's not whether he knew whether she came from Jeju or not. It's just that macam, kenapa you kat sini? So kalau kau tanya aku, dialog tu tukarlah. You apa kat sini? Ki-jun mana? That's it. Settle. Just Ki-jun mana kat belakang tu dah settle.
Busy.
I mean kita pernah cakap we are expecting that mungkin bila si Wu accident, Yoo-jin pergi hospital teman dia apa-apa semua. We were expecting that. But we're not expecting macam accident tu berlaku dekat Jeju dan kebetulan dia ada kat Jeju.
Yep.
And setakat dia just macam dua je, tak ada significant apa-apa, dia just teman je. And then bila Ki-jun dengan Ha-kyung datang, and then just cakap masing-masing apa, and then tak resolve pun kan station dia orang kan.
Tak, itu soalan seterusnya. Cuma tak resolve.
Itu soalan yang kita perlu tanya.
Okey, jadi soalan seterusnya, soalan ketiga untuk semua panelis. Apakah pendapat anda tentang Yoo-jin yang kecil hati apabila dia realise bahawa Ki-jun ke Jeju Island di dalam kapasiti kerja tentang kes pampasan Siwu dan bukannya untuk berbaik semula dengan Yoo-jin? Melodrama betul lah dua-dua couple ni. Memang aku rasa nak lempang je. Aku rasa nak lempang dalam episod ni.
Okay.
Silakan je.
Nak lempang tu satu. Aku rasa scene yang aku rasa a little bit insulting to the viewers was when Ki-jun went, now that I'm in front of her, I don't know what to say. Okay, I give you that scene. Correct. You feel that way. It's logical. And then she says, oh, you only came here for work, not because of me. His first reaction was like, oh, muka kesian. Itu aku serious. I cannot overlook that, man.
Muka trademark dia. Aku macam, bye. Like, are you gonna let that slide? Aku serious macam, what the fuck? It's dumb. Tapi
like,
soalan pasal apa dia orang punya status ni, dia orang tak register dia orang punya perkahwinan. Is it easy untuk macam split?
Easy je. In all honesty, kalau nak split tak susah sangat. Kalau kat mahkamah syariah pun kau tak payah masuk. Kau boleh kau pergi mahkamah syariah kalau kau nak bercerai. Contohnya, if I'm not mistaken, you go to the court, they will ask you, kamu nak lafaz ke kamu nak pergi counselling? Kalau kamu nak counselling, then they will assign you to a counsellor lah. Then they will try to help you work it out lah. Tapi kalau kau nak lafaz je, dia kata okay, sila register bla bla bla, bagi phone number, we will WhatsApp atau SMS you the court date for your hearing. Make sure you isi borang ni. Lepas you hantar borang ni, baru you akan dapat court date. That's it. It's as simple as that. So kau isi borang tu, kau hantar. Court panggil kau hadir. Dia akan tanya soalan kat kau dengan pasangan kau. Kalau court kata okay lah, there's no point to prolong this or to advise this couple to work it out. Okay lah, lafaz, follow after me. That's it. That is as straightforward as it is. Tak payah turun naik court pun. You turun naik court kalau you nak counselling je. Yes. Sebab kau nak lafaz, it's very clear. So the hakim just nak tanya, did you have one-to-one conversations, table talks and everything else? Did you go find therapy or did you speak to any other people, a mediator before you came to court? Yes, sebab tu kita nak lafaz. And then after that the court kata, okay fine, then I don't have to do that for you. And I don't have to advise you to go do that some more. It is that straightforward. So okay. I would assume dekat sana pun sama lah, especially the fact that bila kau nak kahwin, kau tak payah nak register. Macam kita, kalau kita akan nikah, kita dah kena sign kat situ untuk imam semua kena sign borang. Kan? Sana tak ada. Sebab tu kau register
kalau
lepas.
dia orang tak register, ada legally binding?
The legally binding is when you put the name of your partner into the form of whatever legally binding document that you sign. That document does not seek your marriage certificate or your marriage registration certificate for that name to be valid and legal. So kalau kau buat loan, kau letak nama orang, then okay lah, that's it. Only at specific cases lah, joint account, kau nak beli rumah, joint mortgage, itu dia nak tahu kau beli dengan siapa. Kau beli dengan wife kau ke, okay, can I see the proof of you and you dah kahwin dengan wife you. Kalau family, bagi IC je, dia tengok IC ke settle. So it's not too different. In fact dekat sini, if you're a non-Muslim, kau tak.
Alamak, member kita device not connected jap. Kita tunggu Abang Jamal kita kembali. Ni aku tahu dia connected. Tak, device dia not connected.
Ada gambar?
Ada gambar? Oh. Ya, aku setujulah kita cuti 1 minggu daripada floor and then we just talk about all 4 last episodes together because
rasa
it's to the point yang dia dah tak konsisten, dia dah tak logik, dah ke laut. Fuck.
Setakat ni aku layan-layan yang the previous Korean drama macam okey lah, aku boleh habiskan the whole series and it's consistent lagi apa-apa semua. So ni macam aku rasa lah yang orang komplain cerita Korea kau sedap separuh and then why
Betul. Aku sebenarnya dah terkena dengan hometown Cha-Cha-Cha, so Okay, Jamal, sorry, you were lost midway. Silakan.
What was I saying tadi? About kalau kat Malaysia ni, if you're a non-Muslim, kau tak payah reception, kau tak payah ada wedding sangat pun.
Daftar je.
In fact, kau terus pergi daftar. And then setahun lepas tu, lepas kau dah save up duit, kau buat wedding kau.
So,
atau kau buat
the reason Yoo-jin tak nak daftar?
Okay, so this is the thing. Benda tu tak habis explain. Kau perasan tak? So kita tak tahu kenapa dia takut. Because tak ada foreshadow kenapa dia takut. Because at that point bila dia takut-takut tu, tak nampak yang Ki-jun masih lagi teringat dekat Ha-kyung ke, atau tak nampak yang
incident tu happen after that.
After. So we do not see that. So and there is no foreshadowing of Yoo-jin punya history, of dia punya past, macam dia ni takut komitmen atau dia gaduh dengan Siwoo. Bila kita nak kahwin, Siwoo kata I don't believe in marriage. Oh no.
Yes.
So kita tak ada pun benda tu. So katakanlah kita ada benda tu, just that flashback where Yoo-jin kata macam, Opa, bila you ada terfikir nak kahwin tak? Kita dah duduk sama-sama 2 tahun, kita dah couple 5 tahun, contoh je lah kan. And then they had a very difficult conversation. And then Siwoo being Siwoo, lepas a difficult conversation, dia dah cakap apa dia nak cakap, dia ingat orang tu faham. Kalau orang tu tak faham, mampus orang tu. Dan Siwoo akan cuba romance his way back lah. And then bila orang tu petik balik point sama, Siwoo akan kata, kan I dah cakap, I tak suka. I tak sorok-sorok. So I think kita tak ada scene tu. So bila Ki-jun suruh kata, okay, it's about time we register, then Yoo-jin macam, okay, dia mungkin ada cold feet sebab kenapa kita tak register kahwin, tak register sebelum kita buat reception? Ke sebab tak sempat? Tapi tak sempat sebab kita curang, so kita nak rushing. So tapi still kenapa baru sekarang nak buat? There is nothing like that even. Aku tak tahu kenapa dia cold feet. It was not even like macam dia balik rumah awal, lepas tu ada surat, lepas tu surat tu adalah macam, okay, your tenancy, your lease for this unit will finish in 3 months or 2 months. Okay, if you want to continue, this is the new lease rates for the next year. And then dia letak surat tu atas meja, lepas tu kat atas meja ada flyer ataupun leaflet untuk property lain. There was nothing like that to establish the fact that macam, okay, Ki-jun ni cannot give her security atau they are, they haven't sorted that out. Aku tak boleh nak detect benda tu kat mana.
So sebab aku tanya soalan ni because the decision not to register, okay, tanpa macam aku tahu apa yang kau explain tadi, benda ni tak akan impact sangat your ability to split, divorce, anything. So apa yang aku faham daripada dialog apa yang kita dapat tengok Yoo-jin ni, the reason tak nak register because dia tak yakin dengan Ki-jun boleh komit ke tak dalam marriage ni, apa-apa semua. So dalam mind dia ada certain percentage dia allocate bahawa dia akan split. So and bila sampai ke scene sekarang ni, it is still so, mungkin 50-50 dah sekarang, dah teruk sangat. So dia mengharapkan macam bila Ki-jun datang tu, okay, kita boleh bawa bincang dan macam convince me to go back apa-apa semualah. So bila that does not happen,
I think I mean like katakanlah aku nak ambil at face value kan, after benda yang aku cakap ni Mizi, this is still the reason why I really agree with you masa kau cakap kat dalam group cerita ni slice of life, and in many ways is very realistic. Katakanlah aku nak ambil position sebagai, okay, you know what, I have a group of friends. Dalam group of friends ni ada 2 couple. So couple 1 adalah Ha-kyung Siwoo, couple 2 adalah Ki-jun Yoo-jin. So bila aku jumpa kedua-dua couple ni separately or together, and then diorang ceritakan diorang punya cerita, this series is how I would see their relationship. Sebab I cannot fill in the gaps by myself, and bila dia cerita kat aku is always first person account, so aku tak tahulah berapa banyak benda dia miss. In that sense, I agree with you wholeheartedly. This is a slice of life, and if that was one of the ideas the series had, dia punya inspiration, aku suka. In fact, nobody here dislikes the idea of the series. we are very critical of the last 4 to 5 episodes or 6 episodes punya execution. So aku rasa that is where the problem is lah sekarang. So you promise us slice of life, you dah bagi kita sikit, tapi sekarang kau sepah. Dia bukan bersepah teruk. It is not a bad series that is totally not watchable. Tapi dia macam, we want to see you redeem yourself, but the process of getting there, it's not, at this point, it doesn't seem like it's getting better. It might not get very much worse, but it's definitely stagnating even, and it's slowing down badly with some, and then kita dah start nitpick lagi lah benda tu jadi teruk. So aku rasa macam tu lah.
Next week we'll decide that lah.
Next week we'll decide that, yeah, seriously. So kita tak tengok. So if next week's episodes were the same as this week's, aku macam dah tak ada hope lah cerita ni. So whatever you do in the last 2 episodes, nampak kau nak backup dan nak cover line. But if the next 2 weeks they get the characters to sit down and have real conversations with each other, then ni lah. Because aku rasa macam dia cuba nak selit tapi dia ingat dia boleh selit. Itu aku tengok spoiler aku macam sudah.
Tak tahu, aku rasa macam from that point dia kata okay, we cannot do this anymore, tiba-tiba mereka berdua atas kapal.
So aku rasa tak lah, aku tak nak speculate
kapal
sebab
tak
aku rasa
fun pula tu. Macam kau tengok business proposal, kapal tu fun. Boleh bergaduh, mengail lah, apalah. Yang tu dia kita
kapal tu bodoh. Kapal tu bodoh. Daripada Temu yang macam, Hari, are you okay? Are you injured? Lepas tu tengok Minggu, he got another one. Hari kat situ dah babak laut kan. Dia dah start macam, mana joran? Aku pun nak juga, aku boleh buat. Aku cakap, ya Allah Muhammad ni memang nak jentik je.
Fuck.
Bodoh. Temu bodoh lah. Serius, dia bodoh. Dia serius bodoh. Aku rasa dia adik Vincenzo lah. Dia adik Vincenzo. Kalau Vincenzo tengok dia macam, adik aku ni memang macam ni. Dia nak jadi aku, tapi dia 50%.
Kita sama bincang business proposal hari Ahad.
Kita sama bincang. Korang dah tengok kan semalam dengan kemarin. Aduh, bangga kan cerita ni. Wait, tapi dua episode best. This week punya episode.
Yes.
It's getting better and better. 8 episodes.
And the payoff, we feel that everyone punya payoff, semua orang deserve.
Yeah. Yes.
Cuma aku ada satu complaint je. Minggu lepas Grandpa tak tengok K-drama. So kita tak ada commentary Grandpa on the K-drama. Itu dah beramai-ramai lagi orang di subreddit K-drama juga marah. Kenapa minggu ni kita tak ada Grandpa tengok K-drama?
Kena lempang dengan ayam ke pork cutlet ke?
Itulah.
Alright, so dengan itu berakhirlah segmen ini. Dan kita akan ke plot menarik kita yang terakhir. Alright, so kita lihat yang kedua-dua leads dah sendu. Nampaknya subplot bagi supporting cast pun sendu juga. There was only one bright light this week in this episode. Tapi kita akan bincangkan dua yang sendu dulu. So pertama untuk Jamal, apakah pendapat anda tentang subplot elegi anak perempuan senior forecaster serta keputusan isterinya untuk meminta cerai? Benda boleh bawa bincang kot. It's a misunderstanding. Kau nampak husband kau dengan bos dia. Lepas tu terus macam, korang balik rumah dia, korang ada affair. Like, what the fuck, Ray? She could have asked this sometime in the last 14 years that he wasn't at home. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Silakan Jamal.
Point kau yang benda boleh bawa bincang, aku setuju, cuma not in the way that you think. Benda boleh bawa bincang di meja writer. Kenapa kau buat orang yang bedah ni bincang? I think this is the biggest proof that I have that this is a plot-driven story. You wanted this to be the story of a very committed workaholic, genius, well-respected forecaster husband yang sangat dysfunctional in a relationship and as a family man. Okay? Cool. That is legitimate. I think everybody will relate to that. But engkau tak flash out kenapa dia tak balik-balik rumah bertahun-tahun dulu. For me, now in hindsight, sebab aku busy petik benda ni pada episod 4. Aku cakap let lu sebab itu baru episod 4. Okay, tak apa. Sekarang kita dah episod 12. Okay, kita boleh hentam. Sebab apa? Ada 8 episod dia tak bagi kita benda ni. For me, masa scene director tu sembang dengan dia, bagi kopi, bagi kau ni atas, kau ikut aku, nah kopi. Kau okay dengan family kau ni. If they took 3 more minutes to write, to flesh out that scene, dia kata, you have been living like this for the past 14 years. I ingat lagi, anak you graduate, you tak pergi. Are you sure that your family is okay? And then dia kata macam ni. You have to work it out. Katakanlah kita ada scene tu, and then lepas tu kita maintain semua scene yang ada about his family, I will be fine. Kita tak ada scene tu. So because kita tak ada scene tu, kita tak ada peluang nak redeem the husband, kita tak ada peluang nak redeem the wife, dan kita tak ada peluang nak flesh out the daughter. Kat sini, if you ask me, adakah keputusan isteri dia minta cerai legitimate? Aku rasa it is 4 years too late.
Yeah.
This should have been done 4 years ago.
Yes.
This is how I feel now lah at episode 12, not at episode 4. Kalau kau nak cerai, kau dah cerai lama dah, dan kau patut cerai lama dah. So he needed to have this before the season started. How I would have written this instead is that when he was told that he was coming back to Seoul to be the assistant director, he is coming back to Seoul with the baggage. The baggage is dia baru dapat surat daripada wife dia dekat office lama dia, wife dia hantar petition minta cerai.
Yeah.
So dia balik Seoul, dia tak boleh balik rumah terus. Sebab tu dia tinggal
but to
dekat.
win her back. So that's a nice subplot.
So dia tak boleh balik rumah terus. So sebab tu dia duduk dekat training center sebulan. Baru make sense.
Instead dia decide nak surprise wife dia.
Instead dia decide nak surprise wife dia at his own time. So sekarang kalau kita nak bagi muka, nak kesian kat dia, kau ni jenis orang yang introvert, yang sepatutnya tak patut kahwin, tapi dah jodoh macam tu, lepas tu kau ada anak, kau sayang anak kau, tapi kau tak ni. We cannot even say that to him.
Yeah.
Because the writing did not give him that.
Sangat sorry lah, macam memang salah dia.
Ya, macam mana kau tak balik rumah 14 tahun? Lepas tu kau expect everything is okay. Fucked up tu, 14 tahun tak balik rumah.
Aku sebab pernah rasa macam tu, setahun pun, even sebulan pun macam terlalu heavy. So macam something wrong ni 14 tahun. Tapi kau nak macam normalize benda tu, tapi end up tak berjaya. Macam kita still macam tak nak sympathize dengan senior forecaster ni. And then pula Bumi punya allergies tu macam sort of inciting incident kepada wife tu nak teruskan dengan divorce tu.
But it was weak. Okay, this is the thing. It was weak. It was weak not because of the allergy jadi inciting incident. It was weak for a few reasons. Satu, masa anak dia nak makan sausage, lepas tu bapak dia galakkan, anak dia macam, okeylah, kesian kat bapak aku, nampak sangat
saya
dia happy
makan
kat sini.
pasal saya sayang.
Jadi saya makan sebab saya sayang. Okay, for me that is illogical. You know why? 4 episodes prior, siapa yang cakap dia tak selesa bapak dia tak sembang dengan dia kat rumah?
Dia.
Anak dia juga.
Mak tu. Dia.
So aku okay dengan benda tu real. Apa pasal tiba-tiba kau nak berkawan dengan aku? Okay, fine. So, dan bapak dia, kita pula, tu satu. Nombor 2, kita tak pernah nampak senior forecaster ni cakap, oh, how's your family doing? Oh, my daughter is fine. Dia tak petik nama bini dia. My daughter is fine. The other day my wife told me that she got number 2 in her class. Oh, I'm very happy. She's showing a lot of interest. Zero. Tak ada gambar anak dia dalam wallet, tak ada gambar anak dia atas meja. I cannot believe yang she is very proud of her. I can see acting dia best. Nampak dia bangga dengan anak dia bila dia cerita pasal anak dia dalam 2 episod lepas. Tapi bro, takkan kau nak acting dalam 5 minit punya scene tu, nak carry cerita kau sayang anak kau bangga dengan anak kau, betul anak kau allergy dan kau lupa allergy. It's impossible. So for me, benda ni boleh bawa bincang kat meja writing, bukan kat meja editing. And then number 3, bila anak dia punya karakter adalah anak dia boleh tegur bapak dia kat rumah bila bapak dia nak berkawan dengan dia. Tapi anak dia okey pula dengan bapak dia ajak dia nak belanja dia makan dekat cafeteria, lepas tu letak sausage. Pelik. You draw boundaries when your dad is trying to be daddy with you. But when your dad is at home, tapi bila kat office, out of kau punya kesian kat ayah kau. So, the only thing that would make that reasonable, if kita ada satu scene yang mak dia bising, mak dia baru lepas letak phone, your dad isn't coming home soon. Mak tadi pergi cari ayah ke office, ayah tak ada. Tak tahu dia duduk kat mana. And then TV cakap, okay, the heavy rain in Seoul or in Korea is blah 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 blah. Bapa dia keluar kat TV. Contohnya, bapa dia explain dekat press sebab Ki-jun tak ada, Ha-kyung tak ada. So bapa dia explain sebab dia assistant director kan. Okay, blah 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 blah. Lepas tu ada wartawan tanya soalan, bapa dia jawab dengan best. So anak dia macam, oh, so this is what my father does. And then dia dekat rumah tu, dia kemas-kemas barang, dia nampak mak dia simpan bapak dia punya surat pelantikan jadi director ke, bapak dia punya gambar bapak dia dekat KMA ke. So macam mak dia respect lah bapak dia punya career. Then the daughter ada curiosity. Lepas tu ada scene dekat sekolah, dia bawa balik borang, ada field trip. I kena pilih tempat nak pergi mana. Tapi mak dia kata mak dia sibuk. And then dia tengok dekat list tu seorang-seorang, dia seorang-seorang kat rumah, mak dia dah masakkan dinner awal-awal. So dia kena makan seorang like the last 10 years. And then dia tengok kat situ field trip tu ada KMA, ada government department, dia pilih KMA. Terus kita boleh tahu, okay, kau curious pasal bapak kau. Then kita okay. But we did not even have that. Benda yang aku describe ni semua scene 2 minit 3 minit je. So kita tak perlu scene-scene lain, kita still boleh select benda-benda macam ni. So benda tu tak ada, sayang. Because I like the fact that the daughter is curious about the dad. And it's not even macam mak nak cerai. Kenapa bapak kau dah macam ni? Dia kerja banyak sangat. Lepas tu anak dia macam, okay, cikgu kata ada field trip pergi KMA. Oh, you know what? Mak aku nak cerai. Aku nak tengok bapak aku kata dia kerja KMA kan. Sibuk sangat ke bapak aku ni? Itu pun logik. Tak ada juga. So, bila dia tiba-tiba nak baik atau bagi muka kat bapak dia, aku rasa pelik.
Lepas tu defend bapak dia. Tengok KMA ni penting. Macam what the fuck?
Aku rasa macam this is where it's plot driven lah, because it is not consistent with the character. Itu je. Sayang lah. I think the story, wife dia dah minta cerai, anak dia punya allergy jadi isu gaduh. It is great. Kalau anak dia happy anak dia happy dan bangga dengan bapak dia sampai dia lupa yang bapak dia tak tahu yang dia tak baik lagi daripada dia punya allergy, I think that will be even more compelling. Anak kau punya nak reconnect dengan kau sampai macam, tak apalah, kalau sausage aku allergy pun aku rasa aku dah baik dah sebab aku dah lama tak makan aku punya ubat. Itu ons. Tapi
then dia cakap dia tahu allergy dia and then dia ingat allergy dia dah tak ada.
That is the next one aku nak bring up. Dalam semua line bapak dia boleh cakap, I thought allergy dia dah tak ada. Kalau ayat dia simple je, I tak nampak dia bawa pil. So I assume that allergy was fine. And then wife dia kata, just because she did not bring a pill doesn't mean that allergy cannot come back. You are a scientist, you should know better. I'm disappointed in you. This is the result of you not coming home. Boom! Aku rasa seborang akan bodoh lah sini fokus ni, bodoh lah sini fokus ni. Sayang sangat. Because I thought he is a guy in terms of acting yang bawa the whole aku adalah dysfunctional family man, dysfunctional man in a relationship quite well lah.
Acting okay, but
acting dia okay. Aku sayang
sangat. Was the whole dia punya storyline, plot dan apa-apa semua ni macam bagi aku distraction of the main plot.
This is the thing. If it's a welcome distraction, tak pergi. So now we are even complaining about the distraction that is supposed to make us less mad about the main plots. So aku tak cakap apa.
Sedih ya, sendu. Alright, Seri, soalan seterusnya adalah untuk Tarmizi ya. Apakah pendapat anda tentang subplot Head of Analysis? Oh, yang akhirnya hit her breaking point and needed a girls' night out to decompress from family stress. Aku macam, I did not even ask for this fucking subplot lah, babi. I did not ask for this subplot.
Aku really tak suka yang scene dengan anak-anak and then tengok husband dia relax tidur je.
Yeah, man.
Pasal dia kena belajar. Bro.
Aku ingat macam masuk kena belajar tu, at least dia ada rumah jaga anak-anak sambil belajar and dia yang pergi keluar kerja. That's supposed how it works. Tapi pasal sekarang macam watak-watak lelaki daripada cerita ni kau buat dia jadi macam hampir.
Yep.
Semua
daripada
macam
dia jadi women apa? Dia jadi breadwinner, women wearing the trousers, terus andan. bila dia buat statement kat husband dia tu, bila nampak dia macam sepah jaga anak, Andan, our impression of her is that okay, she's good, she's capable, dia boleh balance semua. It's just that she had kids and dia tak boleh nak devote herself to her work. It's Andan in that one scene yang pagi dia nak buat breakfast untuk anak-anak. Aku kecewa sangat.
Yeah. Apa itulah macam apa, and then that line dia kata apa, alah periksa level 5 je kot. Takkan macam study gila-gila macam ni tak boleh tolong langsung anak.
Yes, and peliknya dia punya mother-in-law call, I sakit lah. Aku macam, siapa karakter ni sial? Tiba-tiba macam, I tak boleh take care lah. Lepas tu, anak aku kan tengah belajar. Aku macam, apa ni? What am I watching? Sial.
Tapi dia still pergi dinner and mabuk-mabuk juga.
I mean,
she needed it.
We understand why she needed it. Tapi
no, I mean, siapa jaga anak dia?
Dia tak kisah.
Dia tak resolve benda tu. Dia
tak kisah lah. Writer pun tak kisah dah.
Kalau lepas wife dia, kalau lepas mak mentua dia call, lepas tu wife dia jawab, and then dia end call, dia call husband dia tak angkat, lepas tu dia bagi one SMS marah. I ada hal office, I kena ni, I need to release my stress, I really need you to take care of the kids and go fetch the kids for me. Please. And then blah. Kalau kita ada scene di tengah type WhatsApp tu, settle. Kita tak complain pun. Kita tak petik point ni.
Yes. Ni macam dia tinggal hanging macam tu, seolah-olah macam gila kau tak care anak kau jadi apa semua, kau just nak pergi mabuk.
Yes. And karaoke. Jangan lupa karaoke. Wish they cut out from the scene. Tiba-tiba Ha-kyung dah habis karaoke duduk dekat playground. Kepala aku macam, siapa buat pacing episod ni babi?
Aku tak tahu.
Okay.
Aku tak tahu.
That brings us to the final episode, the final point ataupun the best thing lah out of the two episode yang sendu ni. Itu soalan ni untuk kedua-dua panelis. Apakah pendapat anda tentang subplot penguin date di antara assistant director Shin dengan kakak Ha-kyung iaitu Jin Tae-kyung? The only light-hearted shit in both episodes last weekend. Kita mulakan dengan Jamal, silakan Jamal.
It could have been better, but because I watched the scene relative to all these other things that we have been criticizing throughout this entire bedah, I was happy about it until assistant director Shin said something. I am her manager. Aku terus, aduh, bro, that's it. Dia orang yang ketat, dia orang yang jaga boundary. Lepas tu semata-mata nak buat kau jatuh hati, ya tak payah pun. Awek tu dah jatuh hati kat kau ayat I am her manager. Kalau ayat dia lah I am her advisor. Manager? From where? Tu je. So aku rasa that cheapened the entire thing. Which macam ni cakap was the only nice light-hearted moment lah from this. So that's what I feel about it. Aku marah sangat dekat ayat tu. Why did you fucking spoil it? This was the only good thing that everyone was going to talk about and you still managed to spoil it.
Tarmizi, silakan.
Yeah, macam actually you could buat sesuatu yang menarik with these two characters because dia punya personality contrast yang macam you can exploit that to make an interesting romance love story lah. But macam sebab for me aku dah macam banyak kecewa dengan the main plot, the subplot and everything. Bila sampai kat dia tu macam dah tak ada energy je untuk tu. And then dia pun suppose macam dia suppose macam plot dia ni very small, kecil je. I think macam it was you give them like 5 minit satu episod, 10 minit satu episod apa semua, and then macam you can like episode last tu tiba dia orang get together, kahwin ke apa-apa semua secara tiba-tiba belakang tabir. At least it's like macam kalau this whole thing is a main dish, dia tu macam penyeri lah apa-apa semua. But when the whole dish is lousy, tak sedap, so dia pun jadi macam kau tak nampak sangat lah kau nak layan benda tu. Impact macam apa, if you take these two character kau buat spin-off siri dia, aku rasa tu lagi menarik.
4 episod je please.
Aduh.
Ya, 6 bagi muka 6.
Yeah man, the quirky couple. Itulah.
Aku rasa okay lah, this might sound very critical lah. I think the creative team is really good at conceptualizing the whole show. And writing the characters to a certain degree at surface level. I'm not saying they're shallow, tapi the moment they start fleshing out not just the characters but the conflicts between the characters, nampak diorang tak boleh jaga benda tu. And I think if they can find out the reasons why, then these writers and the director will come up and do a better series lah. Because if we just take the first 5 episodes, it's solid. Aku cakap kat Syaz 2 weeks ago. First 5 episodes, episode for episode, it can match up to the best K-dramas I've seen. First 5 episodes. It has a little bit of everything and not too much of anything, which is great. And then after that, where do you take it from there? So now we are here lah. 7 episodes later. So 7 episodes tu banyak. And then on the flip side pula, ada banyak K-dramas yang aku rasa among the best K-dramas ever. Yang first 5 episode dia jaga pacing je. Dia tak jaga benda lain. Dia jaga pacing, dia slowly flesh out the characters. Lepas tu masuk episod 6, 7, 8, terus episod tu pick up gila babi. Masuk episod 10, rating terus melonjak. So there are many episodes like that. Miss Saying is one, Mr. Sunshine is one. My Mr. Probably banyak orang akan kata My Mr. is among their top 5 or top 10. My Mr. is just absolutely beautiful, sorry. Sama, first 5 episodes. Nothing much. You know it's really intriguing but nothing much. So kalau dia buat tak betul, dia akan jadi slice of life yang macam stagnate je. Lepas tu masuk episod 6, 7 terus. So episod ni macam terbalik. So I'm quite disappointed. But I hope the last 4 episodes will bring it up balik lah to a respectable average or whatever we call it.
I have no hope for it. Tapi dengan itu berakhirlah segmen ini dan kita bakal membincangkan harapan kami bagi episod hujung minggu ini. Personally, I just want to get it over and done with. Minggu depan kita akan cuti seminggu, and then 2 minggu dari sekarang kita akan bincangkan the last 4 episodes in one whole bedah yang lama. So, apakah harapan anda untuk episod minggu depan? On the yacht tapi tak cukup funny? Silakan jawab.
For me, a series yang tak sama in many ways, tetapi in terms of how the series punya progression is going, that is comparable, is Mr. Sunshine. Now, Mr. Sunshine, I really like the story from start to finish. Despite the fact that daripada episode 13 sampai 18 ke 19, ya Rabbi slow. Tetapi dia tak disrespect the characters because they were fleshing out all the characters and the characters punya motivations especially. And during that run of episodes, ada one side character which is the third male lead punya character baru dapat growth because he was only introduced in episode 8 or 9. So dia stretch. So itu stagnate. Dia tak turun, dia tak ni, dia just stagnate. Banyak orang kata boring, tapi boring je lah, dia tak kata teruk. And then in episodes 20, 21, 22, 23, tak silap aku, dia pick up gila, dia resolve the whole Japan Korean War punya interlude tu sangat cantik lah. So and the payoff is brilliant for every single damn character. So which is why aku sangat disappointed dengan Goblin because it's the same writer. So my point is I have seen a Korean drama that is longer, that started quite well, lepas tu tengah-tengah tu macam flat, and then pull it back up in the last 4 episodes to 5 episodes. So I'm saying that it's not impossible, even though Mr. Sunshine ada extra 7 episode, which then makes it even worse kalau kau boleh stretch 7 hingga 10 episode flat dekat tengah-tengah tu. So I'm not saying that it's impossible. They have done it in the first 5 episodes. I just hope that they can bring it back. So whatever the list is that semua orang punya resolution deserved, dan semua orang punya resolution is logical dan logical dan acceptable. Tu je aku nak.
Probably bukan sama dengan Jamal tu, cuma what I'm at dekat sekarang ni towards this series, specifically towards the two main couples ni lah. I'm questioning myself. Do I want to see them together? Are they make a good couple, make a great couple seperti yang aku rasa dalam business proposal? Yang aku macam okay, aku nak those couple bersama dan aku rasa well deserve apa-apa. So ni macam kau dah screw up this relationship apa-apa semua and you have like 4 episode to patch it up apa-apa semua. But the question I'm asking myself, do I want to see you together? Because the final episode tu, the final scene episode tu, she will make a good point lah, macam why you judge me on based on apa yang Ki-jun pernah buat dulu, I'm a different person, why you hantar I kat sini, ingat you suruh kita tempoh bertenang on the break whatever apa semua, lepas tu you cakap nak tu balik, so I'm confused. Then why you kena laugh moderately, do I deserve to be laugh only moderately? So kalau benda tu major lah. So so far ditunjukkan okay, that is macam dia punya choice, dia punya decision. So this 4 episode nak tunjuk how Ha-kyung would change her mind about that decision, boleh actually be laugh wholeheartedly, baru macam nampak macam benda ni boleh jalan. So tu I skeptic sikit lah bila macam kau dah return yourself in a corner macam ni, lepas tu you turn balik nak bagi kita apa yang kita rasa menarik on this the first 4 episode tu, yang macam kita nak diorang ni bersama.
Betul. Seri tu dah hilang. Seri tu. Macam tu lah.
Aku rasa tak seri, aku rasa dah kalah.
Babi. Itu dah benda lain sial.
Kita sembang business proposal.
Yes, kita sembang business proposal hari Ahad ni. So dengan itu berakhirlah segmen kita tentang flaw malam ini yang penuh dengan flaws. Itu saja untuk para penonton. Terima kasih kerana menonton. Terima kasih kepada para panelis Jamal, Raslan dan juga Tarmizi. Nampaknya meeting Syah sampai ke habis tak habis-habis. So itu saja untuk malam ini. Join us tomorrow di mana kita bakal membedah filem The Batman. Hopefully kalau panelis cukup, tak ada lagi yang kena COVID. Tapi yes, aku tak sabar untuk minggu depan nak tengok how Saki the Morbius movie will be. So, Morbius. So join us next week di mana kita bakal membedah Morbius. Itu saja untuk malam ini. Thank you guys. Majalah Fan